You've done it again. You said yes when every part of you wanted to say no. You smiled through the disrespect. You swallowed the insult. You explained yourself to someone who had already decided not to understand you. And now you're alone, staring at the cold glow of your phone, replaying the conversation 5 times, 10 times, searching for the exact moment you made a mistake. Wondering why, after everything you gave them, they still treat you like an option, an afterthought, or a resource they can return whenever they need something. But here is the truth you may not want to hear. Maybe you did make a mistake. Maybe you made a wrong assumption. You assumed they valued you for who you were. They may have valued you for what you provided. Your attention, your loyalty, your emotional support, your availability, and your ability to forgive. And tonight, we're pulling back the curtain on 6 psychological patterns that can reveal when a relationship has become less about genuine connection and more about control, convenience, and extraction. Because sometimes the most painful realization isn't that someone changed. It's realizing they may have been showing you who they were all along. The first pattern is intermittent one. The most confusing form of emotional control isn't constant rejection. It's unpredictable affection. One day, they make you feel important. The next, they disappear. They ignore your messages for hours. They become distant, cold, and unavailable. Then, when you finally start pulling away, they suddenly become warm again. A loving message, a compliment, a sudden burst of attention. And just like that, the anxiety disappears. Your brain experiences relief, and that relief can feel like love. Psychology calls this pattern intermittent reinforcement. Unpredictable rewards that can make a behavior remarkably persistent. It's one reason variable rewards can be so difficult to walk away from. You don't know when the next reward is coming, so you keep checking, you keep waiting, you keep trying, and eventually, you aren't chasing the person anymore. You're chasing the next moment when they make you feel wanted. That's the trap. The question isn't, why did they suddenly become loving again? The better question is, why does their affection only appear when I'm ready to leave? Next time the temperature drops, don't immediately chase them. Don't panic. Don't send 5 messages trying to repair a silence you didn't create. Step back. Observe. Because consistency tells you far more about someone's intentions than occasional intensity ever will. The second pattern is manufactured scarcity. Some people create value by making their attention feel difficult to obtain. They're always busy, always surrounded by other people, always talking about how many people want their time. And somehow, you're made to feel lucky whenever they give you a few minutes. This taps into a well-known psychological principle, scarcity. When something appears limited, people often perceive it as more valuable. And manipulative people can exploit that instinct socially. They mention other people. They hint that you're replaceable. They make their availability unpredictable. Suddenly, you're not simply having a relationship with them. You're competing for a position. You start adjusting your schedule, waiting for replies, accepting crumbs of attention, trying harder to prove that you deserve a place in their life. Stop. The next time someone tells you they're too busy, don't immediately rearrange your entire life to accommodate them. Simply say, understood. Let me know when you're available. Then continue with your life. No I'm here. No baby. No performance. Because someone who genuinely values you doesn't need to keep you permanently anxious about losing access to them. The third pattern is when they turn your reaction into the problem. You confront them about something they did. A broken promise. A lie. A betrayal. A disrespectful comment. You expect an explanation. Maybe even an apology. Instead, something strange happens. Within minutes, the conversation is no longer about what they did. It's about how you reacted. Your tone was wrong. You chose the wrong time. You're too sensitive. You're always starting arguments. Now you're defending yourself. And somehow, the original issue has disappeared. This pattern can involve psychological projection, defensiveness, or simply shifting the focus away from accountability. Whatever the mechanism, the result can be the same. You leave the conversation feeling guilty for bringing up the problem. Here's the test. The next time the conversation suddenly shifts from their behavior to your reaction, calmly bring it back. Say, We can discuss my reaction afterward. Right now, we're discussing what happened. Then watch what happens. A person who genuinely wants resolution will eventually return to the issue. Someone who only wants to escape accountability will keep moving the target. Don't get trapped defending yourself in a courtroom they created. Stay on the original question. The fourth pattern is when your history means nothing the moment you say no. Think about everything you've done for them. The rides, the favors, the late night conversations, the money, the opportunities, the countless times you were there when nobody else was. Now imagine saying no once. Suddenly, everything disappears. They accuse you of never helping, never caring, never being there. It's as if your entire history together has been erased because, for one moment, you weren't available. This is where you need to stop arguing about your past. Don't create a courtroom of old receipts. Instead, observe the pattern. Do they appreciate you as a person, or do they mainly appreciate your usefulness? Because genuine connection isn't supposed to disappear the moment your usefulness does. Your value isn't a subscription service. You don't have to constantly provide something to earn your place in someone's life. The fifth pattern is when they collect your vulnerabilities. Real intimacy requires vulnerability, but vulnerability becomes dangerous when trust isn't mutual. Some people encourage you to reveal your deepest insecurities. They tell you their secrets first. They make you feel safe, so you open up. You tell them about your fears, your failures, your insecurities, your family problems, and your deepest wounds. And months later, during an argument, those same vulnerabilities suddenly become weapons. The insecurity you trusted them with becomes a joke. Your greatest fear becomes an insult. Your past becomes ammunition. That is one of the clearest reasons to pay attention to how someone handles sensitive information. Not just when they love you, but when they're angry with you. Because character isn't revealed by how someone treats information when everything is peaceful. It's revealed by what they do with that information when they have the opportunity to hurt you. So stop handing your deepest wounds to people who haven't demonstrated that they can carry them responsibly. Privacy isn't weakness. Discernment isn't coldness. And you don't owe everyone access to the most vulnerable parts of you. The sixth pattern is when they attack your boundaries. This may be the clearest test of all. Say no. Watch what happens. A healthy person may be disappointed. They may disagree. They may ask questions. But eventually, they respect your decision. A controlling person reacts differently. They guilt trip you. They become angry. They call you selfish. They say you've changed. They remind you of everything they've supposedly done for you. Why? Because your boundary changes the arrangement. If someone benefited from your inability to say no, your new boundary feels like a loss of control to them. And that's why your boundary can reveal more than your conversation ever could. Tomorrow, try something simple. Say, I won't be able to help with that. And stop. Don't write 3 paragraphs explaining yourself. Don't apologize for existing. Don't immediately negotiate against your own decision. Just observe their response. If they respect the boundary, that's information. If they attack the boundary, that's information too. You don't need to diagnose them. You don't need to label them a narcissist. You don't need to prove they're evil. You only need to recognize what their behavior is telling you. When you begin changing these patterns, something unexpected may happen. The people who benefited from the old version of you may not celebrate your growth. They may call you cold, arrogant, selfish. They may say you've changed. And they're right. You have. But changing doesn't mean becoming cruel. It means becoming harder to manipulate. You stop confusing attention with affection. You stop confusing intensity with intimacy. You stop confusing guilt with responsibility. You stop explaining your boundaries to people committed to crossing them. And slowly, something changes inside you. You become calmer, more selective, less reactive. You stop begging people to recognize your value because you finally recognized it yourself. And here's the most important distinction. Not everyone who disappoints you is a manipulator. Not every inconsistent person secretly hates you. Not every conflict means someone never cared. People can be flawed. People can be selfish. People can be emotionally immature. And sometimes relationships simply stop working. The goal isn't to become paranoid. The goal is to become observant. Look for patterns. Look for consistency. Look at what happens when you say no. Look at what happens when you stop providing. Look at whether accountability exists when something goes wrong. Because one isolated incident can be explained, a repeated pattern is different. Patterns reveal priorities, and priorities reveal relationships. Most people will watch this video, feel something for a few minutes, and then return to the exact same behavior tomorrow. They'll text the person who keeps ignoring them. They'll apologize when they did nothing wrong. They'll accept another broken promise, another excuse, another temporary burst of affection. But you don't have to. You don't need to become ruthless. You don't need to manipulate people back. You don't need to become the villain in someone else's story. You simply need to stop volunteering for relationships that require you to abandon yourself. Because the ultimate form of psychological strength isn't controlling other people. It's controlling your own attention, your reactions, your boundaries, and the people you allow close enough to influence your mind. If this video made you recognize a pattern you experienced before, don't ignore that realization. Study it, understand it, and most importantly, change your response to it. Subscribe to PsyQuill for more psychology, human behavior, manipulation patterns, and the darker mechanics of social influence. Because once you understand the pattern, you stop being controlled by the confusion. And sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is simply stop playing the game.